Hello everyone, it's Nuriddin with you in this video, and welcome to this video where we're going to talk about how to use APIs, which stands for Application Programming Interfaces, in React apps. And we're going to do it in our wonderful YouTube community, so if you're not subscribed yet, please don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification button, and don't forget to give thumbs up and comment about what you think about this video. So basically, if you're not aware of what is React, React is a library of JavaScript to build beautiful interfaces, as we're gonna do in this video. So in order to create a new React app, you just have to open your folder in your terminal where you want to create your project, and you're gonna run npx create-react-wrap, and you're gonna write the name of your project, and then it's gonna create you a new React app, and then you can type npm start to start your application, to open a static web application that React gives you, and then you can open the App.js file inside the source folder of your project, and then you can edit it to build whatever you want. So and that is also what I did in here, and I have built all of the style sheets, all of the necessary connections between datas, and one thing left to do is to just get data from API and just connect it. So that's what we're gonna do in here. So we're passing the weather data props to this weather, and this is gonna generate all the text, temperatures show in the interface, and I'm gonna pass this. I'm passing this weather variable, which is right here, just state variable. And if you're not aware of state is a variable of React that you can use, and it returns two things. The first one is variable, and the second one is method to change that variable. So you can just go with const but not let, okay? So, and then what we're gonna do later is, after we receive the data from the API, we're gonna take all of these and use this function to edit and apply all of the dynamic data that we got from the API and put it in the values of these elements, basically. So first of all, let's take a look at our app, and I have it live already on nuriddin-weather.netlify.app, so you can visit that as well. So this is our local project that we're going to look at now, and if we reload it, it keeps reloading because there's no API that is receiving currently. So if you are ready, let's jump straight into calling our API. And there's a JavaScript method to call the APIs, which is called fetch, and you're going to pass a string of the URL that you want to call the API, and it's going to give you all of the data that you want from that API. So what you can imagine when I say API is basically application programming interfaces to make the data in the front end interface dynamic. So let me explain you in an easier way. Let's say a restaurant, and there's a kitchen, which is called backend in our case, and client side, which you can say front end. So, and there's a servant who take food from kitchen, in this case backend, to client side, which is front end in this case. So that's called API, and it delivers data from backend servers to front end interfaces with URLs that you can call. Okay, now let's start calling our API. And the website I'm going to use to call that API is weatherapi.com, so you can go ahead and sign up and get your own key, or you can use my own key as well, but I'm not sure about it's gonna work or not, but it might not work in some cases. So in that case, just go for your own key that you got from weatherapi.com. Okay, let's go ahead now. First I'm gonna say https://weatherapi.com/ version 1/forecast.json probably, and then some parameters. The first one is key, I told, and this is going to be, I just have copied it, and this is this one. Okay, and then the city that we are interested to receive the weather data from. And I have stored this data from the form, getting from this, little form that you're going to see now in a little second. And I have stored that in local storage. So I'm going to say local storage dot get item called Q. That's called Q as well. Let me show it to you actually. So let's go in inspect. And in this application tab, you can see local storage, and inside that you can see https://localhost 3000, and then there's a queue thing, which is currently New York City. So for now, I'm gonna set this to an empty so that it doesn't keep loading. Okay, so the next thing that we're gonna do is, after fetching the data, we're gonna go ahead and call the then method, then response, and this is a callback function, and all data that's received from this function is going to be stored in this response parameter. So I'm going to get this parameter and return the JSON format. So I'm going to just convert it to a JSON format. Let's do that. Okay, and then I'm going to call another method, which is going to be then again, and this is going to receive a parameter of JSON that we have just converted now. So this data will be stored in this JSON parameter. So for this, let's just console log for now, just to see what we receive from our API. So now we're going to enter our city, which is New York. Okay, submit, and if we take a look at the console now, we can see this object, and this has three elements: current, forecast, location. We're going to use the current and the location. I think probably we're not going to use the forecast one, so never mind that. So in the current object, we can see all of the data like cloud, condition object with the condition of the weather basically, and you can see the humidity, temperature, the feeling of the temperature in both Celsius and Fahrenheit, and wind and all stuff like that in kilometers and the miles as well. So, and okay, so the location is where all the city names are stored, which is in this case New York. And in this one, you can see that in our project, if we click this temperature icon, it's going to move to Fahrenheit version. So if we click on the kilometers per hour, it's going to move to the miles per hour. So that's basically, it depends on your country, like what type of measurement of the weather data you use. Okay, so now let's change this data now to what I have said before using this method. So let's say that after getting the JSON format of the response, we're gonna set the weather to an object. Basically, let me copy this first, and then I'm gonna change the values. Okay, so put okay, and this is going to be JSON that we have received, JSON.current location.name. So this is going to be a location and then name right here, the city of the name basically. So the weather icon is going to be in JSON.current and .condition probably, and then icon. So let's see that. Yes, it's in condition and then icon. There we go. So, and then the weather condition is going to be JSON.current, as we have just shown, current condition.text is going to be the name of the condition of the current weather. So, and the next thing is going to be weather degree in Celsius, and it's going to be JSON.current, JSON.current.temp _C probably. Let's see that. Yes, there we go. And then the JSON.current.temperature in Fahrenheit, so _F. The wind is going to be, let me see. Let me see the weather. Wind is going to be wind. I think probably I was mistaken here, so it should be like kilometers. And let's check that. JSON.current.wind _K. So okay, and then winds in miles, M, and then weather humidity is going to be json.current.humidity, as we saw recently. So the feeling is going to be json.current.feels-like, and then underscore c to verify that it's inherit. json.current.feels-like underscore f for inherit. Okay, the last update is going to be, I think we're not gonna need it, but just let's leave it as a reference for you. Just json.current last underscore updated. So there we go, and then let me just add this thing to here as well, so that there wasn't any, misunderstandings. So it's going to be a string with minus. Okay, so that's basically all now, and it works basically pretty fine. But in some cases, like when you enter the city that doesn't exist in the world or something like that, it gives an error. So we'll use a catch method for that in case there's some errors, and this is going to be stored in this error parameter in callback function. So if it's really an error, so we'll say error is instance of error object in JavaScript, and it's going to be a real error. In that case, I'm gonna go ahead and from remove local storage, remove item called Q, which is that city that we have inserted in the form in the beginning, right? So, and then I'm gonna just reload to take you to the home page so that you can re-enter the city, so that there wasn't some misspellings or something like that. So I'm going to say window.location.reload to reload the page. Okay. So now, the last thing left is the loading icon. So as you can see there was a loading icon, right? This one. So it doesn't stop basically. If you don't order it to stop, it doesn't stop. So after this all things happened, we have to stop this loading animation. So I'm gonna say set timeout, but I don't want to separate it in 1 second. No, less than 1 second. So that's why I'm gonna set timeout for 1 second, and then the animation is going to be off. Set timeout, and for 1000 milliseconds basically, which will be 1 second. So that is loading to false. So it stops loading. Okay, let's see. Let me refresh the page. Okay, now we get all of the information, weather information about the city of New York. So everything is working pretty well actually. So hope you enjoyed the video, and see you in my next videos. Don't forget to give thumbs up, comment about what you think, or what you think about my knowledges, about my teaching, and so on. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell as well. I'm sorry, like I'm speaking too much and misspelling some words. Okay, so see you in the next videos. Bye.